Okay, we're going to end this mini lecture with just a couple more really interesting little attitudes phenomena. Remember the negativity bias and how we inform impressions of others? That was from our earlier interpersonal perception lecture. One piece of negative information has more of an effect on your overall impression of someone than a comparable piece of positive information. This is one of the most basic psychological principles. Bad is stronger than good. And this applies to attitudes too. We tend to remember things about which we feel negatively somewhat better than things about which we feel positively. Now here's a fun little test you can do. Write down 20 words. 10 of them negative like cancer and death, and 10 of them positive like love and happiness. Put them in alternating order, so negative, positive, so on. Then test some of your friends. Read the list off to them quickly, wait a minute, then ask them to list all that they can individually recall. Most people recall more of the negative words. Another cool little attitudes phenomenon is the sleeper effect. Research on the sleeper effect shows that people often remember a message longer than they remember the source of the message. As a consequence, a message from an unreliable source can gain in its impact over time. You don't give much credence to the idea that ice cream is nutritious when you read the ad in the National Enquirer and it's claimed by an owner of an ice cream parlor. But months later, when it is easy to confuse with the stacks of credible facts you've learned in your health and nutrition classes and textbooks, you feel better about consuming more ice cream. A delayed reaction, right? It sleeps for a while, then wakes up to affect you. The sleeper effect. Remember Dr. Fallon, the researcher who discovered his own brain scan indicated psychopathy? He was motivated to search back through his family tree history, and he found a number of murders, indeed some serial killers. In fact, he found he was related to the infamous Lizzie Borden. Yup, the one who murdered her parents in 1892. How did he resolve the fact that he was a happily married man with a successful career with the fact that he had the brain of a psychopath? After self-scrutiny, he began to notice some of his own behavior patterns as being manipulative, obnoxiously competitive, egocentric, and aggressive, just not in a criminal manner. Dr. Fallon coined the term prosocial psychopath. Prosocial psychopath, an individual who lacks true empathy for others, but keeps his or her behavior within acceptable social norms due to being raised in a loving and nurturing environment. By acknowledging both the genetic and learning sources of attitudes, he was able to resolve his own cognitive dissonance. All right, so this concludes this lecture, and it also concludes the first section of this class, that of social cognition. Remember, our class is divided into 3 sections, right? The first one, social cognition, in other words, how we think about ourselves and others. The second one, social influence, part 2, how we can influence and are influenced by others, coming up. And then finally, social relationships, how we relate to others. I wish you the best on your social cognition test. When we return to lecture, we will begin social influence by exploring group phenomena. How might your behavior change when you are in a group compared to alone?